As you know, it's time for us to do the news. Some students affected by a nationwide strike by schools in the public sector or teachers in the public sector are appealing to government to resolve their grievances so they could resume teaching them. The teacher unions under the Ghana Education Service embark on the strike on Monday and have since vowed to only return to the classrooms after government pays them all outstanding salary arrears due them. Well, with exams starting in a few days, many of the students are worried the absence of their teachers would be telling. There's more in the following report.
On Thursday, December 5, over 300,000 first and second cycle school teachers across the country said they will not go to work from Monday, December 9, over the failure of government to pay the legacy arrears due members between 2012 and 2016. The unions, made up of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, the Ghana National Association of Graduate Teachers, and the Coalition of Concerned Teachers, announced their decision at a press conference in Accra. During a visit by our news team, many of the schools were without teachers. Students were seen loitering on school compounds, while others were seen chatting and studying in groups. Although some national service teachers have taken over some of these classrooms, some students are still not happy.
That the teachers are on strike, and right now we are about to write our exams, and some of the topics we are not yet done with it. So it will have, I think it might affect our performance too, because during the exams some questions might come, and maybe we are not treated with that topic. So when it comes, it will be difficult for the student to answer the questions.
It's going to affect us because the school will be scattered. You see students without schedule. Students are going to shout in the class and do a whole lot of things. So it's going to really affect us, and we want them back. We are pleading on the government to do something about it.
It's an examination week, so it will depend on us, the students, to learn on our own.
This teacher, for instance, defied the union's directive to stay out of the classroom.
It's not because I don't want to go on strike. I'm also on strike. But you know, we are with the two tracks, both green and gold tracks. And the green students are in the house and we've covered a lot with them. But these gold students, we've not done a lot with them. So looking at it, I thought it's wise for me to come and help them, at least so that they can catch up with the green students. But I'm not happy I'm teaching. I'm not happy I'm teaching, but we need to do it. Because alongside we have the national service personnel who are also teaching. So if a national service person is in a different class and that person is teaching and you are also there not teaching, it's going to go a long way to help the class. And secondly, also, I also have brothers and sisters in other schools. So I will not be happy if teachers don't go and teach them. So as they're saying, go do unto others as you want it to be done to you. I wake up, I give them money to go to school. I didn't tell them because they are on strike, so they should not go to school. I give them money, especially that somebody will teach them in school. So the same way somebody else also brought a word here. So at least I need to serve them.
The situation is biting hard, and students are the worst affected as they prepare to write their exams. Ifwa Evans Chinwis reports for JoyNews.
Owners of businesses hit hard by the cedi's continuous depreciation say they fear the situation could get worse as the festive season approaches. The cedi has in recent times lost value to some of the major trading currencies, especially the US dollar, the euro and the sterling pound, or the pound sterling. It is currently being exchanged at some 5.69 Ghana cedis to the dollar, a 13.30% loss in value to the US dollar since the beginning of this year. Komla Adom has been interacting with some of them on the impact of the currency's depreciation.
I live in Europe. I live in Germany. But me and my wife, we have a school project here in Ghana. And we have to pay the teachers, the cooks, and everything like that. It's I don't know how to say it, but it's a little bit depressing when we today, for example, January I have to pay salaries, and I know I have to send 300, 400, 500 euros, and then the next month you check and you have to send more because the CD has decreased or something, and I don't know, but it's really something that can be a little bit frustrating. When you have a business or something, then you cannot have a stable mind as to, if you know, for example, if you are shipping stuff or something, and you know you are making a calculation, 10,000 or 15,000, and then when you are ready, you know it changes from time to time. It can even change from today to tomorrow. Maybe you have made your budget, and then the next thing you know, tomorrow the budget has changed. You have to add more money to it. So it's not so good.
You see, any time that there's a depreciation in the city, automatically it will affect everything. Simple, because the price of item will go up, and by so doing it will affect the people, because getting the money will be too small, and your expenses will also go up. So automatically it will affect not only the people, it will affect everything, because in this country it is the city that we use to buy everything, and once one commodity goes up, by all means it will affect the other things.
It's affecting business of late, especially when it's fluctuating all the time. You see that sometimes you would have to will look for a lot of money to get the foreign currency to be able to do business, especially when you have made your mind that you have actually a certain amount of money to do foreign businesses. You realize that later on the day you would have to look for more to be able to do business. It's affecting us so much, especially when it's fluctuating all the time. It's affecting us so much. We are expecting that it will go higher, especially we have always seen that during Christmas it always go higher. Talking about how it's going to affect our business, I will say that it would affect our businesses. It will affect my business in the sense that I would have to, like I said, I would have to look for much more money to be able to get same amount of money to buy a particular product. So it's actually going to affect us.
Now, let's take you to the Ashanti region. The Sanitation Minister has charged city authorities in the capital of the Ashanti region, Kumasi, to provide more litter bins and also encourage residents to separate their waste for easier management. Cecilia Benadapa is unhappy. Bins at the newly constructed KJT market are inadequate. Madam Dapa is on a working visit to assess the sanitation situation in the Ashanti region, where she will visit landfill sites and other facilities over the next 3 days.
Poor sanitation in Kumasi has been a major challenge for authorities, as millions of cedis is spent on collection at the expense of other development needs of residents. At Kumasi Central and Sobe Market, the minister had to order traders to hand-pick litter around.
Dear enemy also ye we are proffering good advice, and we are making them aware that wherever you are, the place should be devoid of waste, meaning plastics, paper, food remnants, etc., etc. You should have a receptacle. We are promoting the one house, one bin, one business, one bin, one market store, one bin, so that we can collect our waste. Later, we can use them for something good.
Madam Dapa also visited the Asafo Central sewage system, where affluence from over 2,000 households and institutions is collected and treated. Resident engineer Abu Suleiman, complained the facility established in 1994 is currently choked because it's been dislodged only once.
Yes, as you can see, the pond is getting filled up, so silt. So we have to de-silt.
How often do you de-silt this pond?
Since we did the construction, we did the dislodging about once.
When did you construct this?
We completed the construction 1994 and 96, between those years that we've completed and connect the houses into it.
And how many times have you desilted this
yeah, we desilted it once. Yeah. So as at now, I think the desilting time is due.
Thank you very much.
Oh, don't mention that.
Kumasi Mayor Osei Benchi assures the sewage system will be expanded next year to accommodate waste from over 1,000 more households.
Of course. And as a metropolis, our plans is that next year we want to do the desilting and the expansion so that we can bring on board a lot of households to use the facility. So the reason why we brought her here is for her to understand the challenges that is facing the metropolis, for her to also assist in sourcing for support for KME to be able to do this expansion project.
For Joy News, Nana Asensumensa, Kumasi.
Meanwhile, in a nearby Asokore Mampo Municipal Assembly, the people have been warned who intend to exploit the Ghana card registration for monetary gain to desist from the act or risk arrest and prosecution. The chief executive for the assembly, Ali Duseidu, cites particularly the tendency for citizens to charge persons who have no required documentation before guaranteeing for them. The registration begins in the Ashanti region on Wednesday and is expected to end in the first week of next month.
Registration officials and journalists have already had their turn under a special arrangement ahead of the mass exercise. An estimated 2.8 million people are expected to be registered in the Ashanti region. Applicants are required to produce birth certificate or passport, a digital address, and any form of identification including health insurance and social security and national trust cards. 2 relatives can guarantee for relatives who cannot meet the requirement. Alhaji Seidu warns those who would want to use the exercise as money-making venture would be dealt with.
Register. If you don't have any of either the passport or birth certificate, you need someone who has gone through the process to vouch for you. And whilst vouching, the voucher should know whom he is vouching for. You don't just wake up just to vouch for anybody. For the moment you vouch for the fellow, in case of any emergency events and the card is inserted, your data will also appear. And it means that if nobody knows what the fellow might have committed, the gravity of it, you also share a portion of it. So I'll call on our people to know whom they are to vouch for or they will be vouching for. Because it's not everybody that you can vouch for. You can vouch for somebody who has a questionable character. Who knows? Then the next minute, you are held liable for any wrongdoing.
2 million cards have so far been issued in the exercise, which has already covered 11 regions. Alhaji Seidu encourages all citizens to take advantage of the exercise and register for the Ghana card.
Yes, what I will tell our people is that they should go out there and register massively. One thing that I observe also is that they need patience, because if you are not patient enough, you wouldn't understand the rudiments of the work they are doing. I think that to get to a time, nobody will carry along with documents and all that. And I will call on everybody to go out there and register. As Ashanti region is starting on Wednesday, as we are very much set and we are prepared for it.
For Joy News, Nana Asensumensa, Asokore Mampong.
And before we go, more than 4 dozen buckets and bonnets of tricycles belonging to the defunct Savannah Accelerated Development Authority have been gutted by fire at the Wa Public Works Department yard. The fire, believed to have started around midday, was allegedly from a garden set up close to the wall of the PWD yard. The cost of the items burned, we're told, is worth over thousands of Ghana cedis. Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam has more updates.
According to an eyewitness, Ibrahim Nuruddini, the fire started half-past midday from a garden located in between bungalows for the officers of the Ghana Highways Authority and the Eastern Concrete Wall of the Public Works Department, PWD.
Then they've burned fire after behind the yard. So we saw the fire burn till some time. We realized the fire just got inside the distance. Then it started burning the motorbikes here. So all we rushed in just to quench the fire. We couldn't. Then we called the fire service to deliver their service, and they ran here.
For the acting Upper West engineer of PWD, Phoebe Ochre Collins, they only heard loud sound seated at their offices.
We were just inside and we just heard boom, the fire just started, and we called fire service to come and put it off, and that was it. We were just inside, we heard the fire. We have a big yard and we normally don't store goods, but SADA came and that they want a place to keep their tricycles, and we gave them a space to keep the tricycles. So that's it, basically.
Okay, so can you tell me what got burned?
Yes, that's the parts of the tricycles, the bonnets, and then the back, the buckets.
Deputy Upper West Regional Fire Officer of the Ghana National Fire Service, DO3, Eugene Asajechi, led a team of over a dozen of fire personnel to the scene, and within 20 minutes, they were able to douse it off.
Upon reaching the fire ground, I realized that the fire started behind the walls of the PWD. That's the bush fire. So it is spread to this side. So immediately my men got on board and they started extinguishing fire. So it took about 20 minutes to bring the fire under control, for which now it has finally been extinguished. So what they are doing now, we call it cooling. They are cooling the things because the way the things are packed there, there's Maslow tractors and others, the way they are packed there, they have to cool and raise them to see underneath whether there is any fire traces over there. Then they just finally extinguish it.
It is unclear about the number of buckets and bonnets of the tricycles that have been gutted by the fire. The number of boxes of buckets and bonnets, however captured by our camera, are about 4 dozen and valued at over thousands of Ghana cedis. About 500 tricycles belonging to the defunct Savannah Accelerated Development Authority SADA for close to 3 years have been parked at the war office of the PWD. Majority of the tricycles have been fixed and others still in their boxes. Both are left in the excruciating heat of the hot Hamatan weather. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
And that's it for the news. We have more news as we review the newspapers. I'll be joined by Komladum. Stay with us.